Penn State football had, by their standards, an unbelievably successful season last year.
It was a great year.
Really, like, this is a James Franklin legacy season we just witnessed last season.
It actually was.
Made it to the Big Ten championship game, won 2 college football playoff games.
Yeah.
And they're returning basically everyone. So I want to deep dive into this Penn State team to continue along our series of doing 2025 outlooks on some of the potential national championship rosters and seeing what we think about this team, what pieces they added, what pieces they lost, any changes like the coaching staff, and then go game by game, compare that to the win totals, and talk about what season-long bets we like for Penn State. I'll go ahead and kick this off. Penn State's plus 260 to win the Big Ten. They are minus 230 to make the college football playoff, and they are plus 800 to win the national championship.
Wow.
All right, starting at the top.
Crazy.
Drew Allar, returning at QB, is massive for Penn State. He is currently the 5th in Heisman odds at plus 1,400, and he's mocked in some mock drafts as a potential first-round draft pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. I don't like Drew Allar. I don't think he's very good. He was a 5-star. He was a 5-star, and he's coming back for his 3rd season now. So, no matter what my feelings about him are, you've got to be really comfortable if you're Penn State bringing a guy back that already started a full year and has played in 3 college football playoff games, top 5 in Heisman odds, and was a former 5-star. Like, he's got everything at his disposal. I personally don't like him as a prospect going forward. That does not mean I think he can't win college football games in the regular season for Penn State. Yeah. So a huge plus at the quarterback position for Penn State. They only lost 4 players to the NFL draft last year.
Absurd.
I was going through all the college football playoff teams and seeing how many players they got lost. Penn State only lost 4 to the draft, least of any team.
2 of them happen to be goats.
Least of any good team. Boise State, throw that aside.
That's true.
Notably, obviously, Abdul Carter and Tyler Warren, both first-rounders. Besides that, I mean, they're returning 14 starters from last year's team. 14 starters, including quarterback, which is insane. It's 5th in college football, in all of college football for returning production. Only 2 starters behind Clemson, who's in first. And they're returning the best running back duo in the nation with Nick Singleton and Katron Allen. So there's a lot to like at the top of this team. The most significant shakeups on the roster came in the wide receiver group, and that was for good reason.
They needed it.
Their wide receivers last year
terrible.
Were probably one of the worst bunch of wide receivers I've ever seen on any college football team.
Power 5 team.
Yeah, like Akron had better receivers.
Yeah,
like these
100%.
is horrendous. So what they did, they completely gutted last year's core. They picked up 4-star transfer Devontae Ross from Troy. He had over 1,000 receiving yards last year. And they got Kyron Hudson from USC.
He's pretty good.
I don't think he had 460 receiving yards last year. I don't think he's very good, but USC, all those receivers left. One went to Georgia, one went to Penn State. Regardless, you have to think this will be at least a semi-step up from last year. Some guys who've actually produced in college, because last year they literally had nothing. Then at the coaching staff is really the main shakeups. They got a new defensive and offensive coordinator. Defensive coordinator, they poached from Ohio State, Jim Knowles, after losing Tom Allen to Clemson. Penn State hired Jim Knowles for the 3-year, $3.1 million per season contract at defensive coordinator. It's never been done before. This is the highest paid defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator in in NCAA history. And then offensive coordinator, they have Andy Kotelnicki.
Yeah, that name is crazy.
Joined Penn State. He was an offensive strategist at Kansas, known for developing high-scoring offenses. They needed something to shake it up. Guess he's coming in to fix that. Basically, my takeaway with this team, I don't trust Drew Allar, but they are so clearly returning more production in the Big Ten than any other team by such a wide margin that you can't not like them to potentially win the Big Ten next year. They have the top overall quarterback in the conference, according to both Heisman odds and mock draft projections, and they have the best running backs in the conference as well, bringing back the most starters. So a lot to like if you're a Penn State football fan. I am never on Penn State, but the more I look about this team, and especially when I looked at their schedule, there's no world I think this team is going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they just have to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
there's just no way. What was that number?
For what?
Them making the playoffs?
Making
minus
the playoffs.
250 or something?
Minus 230.
Oh, my. I mean, that's a lifeline bet if you're asking me. I don't know. Yeah. But, yeah, I think Tyler nailed pretty much everything. They brought back everyone. Their team made it to the Final Four. They lost because of Drew Allar being an idiot on the last play, or one of the last plays of the game. They should have won that game. They kind of choked at the end of the game. Their defense is going to be top 5 in the country. Now with Jim Knowles, it's certified. Last year, they were top 5. Now they're just locked it in with Jim Knowles, who had the best defense in the country last year running. Their offense will have the best offensive line and running game in the country, in my opinion. Mostly because their running backs are insane and they do it every year. Drew Lock just needs to take a step up in I think production, but I think that'll help with the wide receivers that are coming. They really had no way of getting open last year.
Yeah.
It was more Tyler Warren, and there were balls that he was making it would have to be
Unreal
double coverage that he would have to, but it would be like Drew Lock would be like,
Totally.
no one's open, might as well throw it to the GOAT or the best player on my team.
That's a point I forgot to make that I had written down. I think you hit on perfectly. Is I can't tell if I don't like Drew Lock because he's never had any wide receiver talent, or if it's because the wide receivers were so bad. Like he had some former 4 and 5 stars. They just looked awful. I don't know what's the cause and the problem. So I think we'll get to see this year.
Yeah, you'll get a clear as day sight at what Drew Lock is, especially with these wide receivers, because now he has no excuse. He got the transfers, got the people ready to go. He's in his second full year, third year
in football,
college football. But yeah, I think if he takes a step up at all, and maybe it is the wide receivers like you're saying, I think he could do a little work. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He's good with the ball. I just think he needs more like big play opportunity. These plays just weren't great, and maybe it was the wide receivers. But if he takes a step up at all, this team is perfect. Their defense is sound. Their offensive line's insane. In football, all you need is a good defense and a run game. You're set. If you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, call it all. I think this is a lock for a Big Ten championship in the Big Ten championship. I don't think it's a lock to win it. And I think this is a absolute mortal lock, like 100, more than any other team to make the playoffs, like 1,000%.
Mike?
Yeah, not going to repeat too much, but this is really the only team that I think on paper it's the most difficult for me to argue against because pretty much everything on paper, surface level, looks like they should just be running to a national championship, at least contention. As Ryan astutely pointed out, Jim Knowles being as good of a defensive coordinator as he is, he can come into a new system and just make these guys kind of work together in the way that is best beneficial to him. And that's a very extreme rarity for coaches, coordinators, whatever. But that's, again, why he got the $3.1 million a year, because he is that good. When we talk about, their offensive run game, their offensive line, they have 4 returning starters. Just the cohesiveness, the chemistry, the experience, all of that. Not to mention, Penn State offensive linemen were they're huge.
They're freaks.
They're massive.
Yeah,
and
returning 4 O-line, 2 running backs, and a quarterback. Like, that running game is not going to have
No, it's absurd.
There is zero gaps in that running game hole. I think, like I said to start this off, they're the team that I have the most difficulty arguing with. But I'm on a very similar train as to Tyler. Is like, I will never believe that this Penn State team will actually finish the job, because Drew Lock showed to me in that Notre Dame game that he doesn't have what it takes. So there's just nothing he can do because he doesn't have it in him.
Let's get to the schedule and talk the games right now, because I think me and Mike might be on the same page with regular season versus playoffs, because I don't think it's just Drew Lock. I think it comes from the top down with James Franklin.
Yeah.
Win total 10.5, tied for the highest in all of college football, plus 118. And we'll go through the schedule right now. First game, home against Nevada.
Win.
Home against FIU.
Win.
Home against Villanova.
Win.
Home against Oregon.
Win.
70-30 win.
I have it 70-30 as well. Crazy way to start the season. 4 consecutive home games, with the 4th being Oregon.
Yeah.
They don't leave home for September.
No,
It's insane.
Sick.
Whoever made the schedule, going Nevada, FIU, Villanova. Yeah, this is, if you're going to throw Oregon in there, what better time than week 4, 4th consecutive home game?
Yeah.
After a return. So I think Oregon on the road or at a different time in the schedule could be close. This is like a death row sentence for Oregon coming in.
Yeah.
Penn State might be ranked number 1 in the country. They might give up 7 points by week 3.
They might not give up a point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And their scoring differential might be 150 points.
At least, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's a win, 70-30 win.
Yep.
At UCLA,
Murder.
Win. Home against Northwestern.
Murder.
Win.
Like, who are these teams?
At
Iowa,
win.
Should be a win.
80-20 win.
Weird game.
But win. At Ohio State.
That's only loss.
So I have loss, but I think it's 70-30, same percentage I gave in the Ohio State episode, where there's 30% chance that Ohio State's not as great and Penn State's a little greater. But I do think the Ohio State-Penn State matchups go historically how they've looked.
Yeah.
So I think that's a loss. Home against Indiana.
Win. I
Blowout
hate to
win.
say it, but win.
I mean, Indiana got gutted.
I love
also.
Indiana,
They don't have.
though.
They're not
Shout
very
out
good.
Kurt Cignetti.
At Michigan State.
Should be win.
Win. Home against Nebraska.
Should be win.
Easy.
Win. Home against Rutgers.
Win.
Easy.
So yeah,
It's 11 wins.
dude. Yeah, I mean when
It's the easiest 11 wins ever.
because they play Oregon, it's technically not one of the top 3 easiest Big Ten schedules. But if you compare this schedule, you could even throw some ACC schedules in there too. Like Ohio State is obviously a hard game, but dude, the rest of the schedule has got to be one of the easiest for any top 25.
Yeah,
team.
they don't have to play Illinois
This
or
is crazy.
Michigan.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, this
No,
is
it's
a
unreal.
crazy schedule, and there's a lot of home games. Like Ohio State's on the road, you can almost just chalk that loss.
Yeah.
Every other game, if it's semi-difficult,
Just
home.
went out. Yeah.
It's 11.
And
It's 11
It's
wins.
11 wins.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think there's no. It's also the Big Ten. There's always 2 teams that have over 10.5 wins. So
Yeah.
if you're picking Ohio State and you need another team, this is a mortal lock.
Yeah, and so I am really, really a fan of minus 230 to make the CFP, and I
That's a-
love
yeah,
the
it's
plus 260 to win the Big Ten as well. Those are the 2 bets I'm taking for this team, and I'm taking the over at plus 118, 10.5 wins for sure. Think there's a world they go 12-0. No, I don't find a lot of scenarios where they're at 10 wins. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, it's
And
impossible.
something would have to go wrong. But I want to talk about to win the Natty because, like you said, this is the team that on paper. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, what's the odds for the over again?
Plus 118, 10.5.
That's
Plus
weird. That's
118 for the over.
Well, it's because it's 10.5. There's most teams are 9.5.
I will take out a number of loans and put everything I own on that.
Yeah, they're
They're
winning.
gonna get
all
11 wins. I
So-
mean, that's
All right,
just
so it's
ridiculous.
consensus bet.
100%.
Make the
Yeah.
college football playoff and over on win total.
Yes.
Make the college football playoff is my bet of the decade this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hammer
No,
that.
I love it.
I don't think they're gonna win the Big Ten championship because I
That's
think
fine.
that's probably gonna go Ohio
So-
State. But
plus 800 to win the Natty. On paper,
I love that.
you should
odds.
like
I love
betting
8 to
this
1.
more than Georgia and Ohio
Yep,
State.
I love it.
But I'm with Mike just for a different reason. James Franklin will
Choke
never
artist.
win a national championship. And I don't care what the roster looks like. I just see him operate at the end of games. I don't
bad.
care. I don't care what he has.
Pretty bad.
I will never put money on it. If you're a believer in James Franklin, you're gonna love 8 to 1 because I mean this team's making the college football playoffs.
100%. They might have a
Might have a bye.
Yeah.
And they're going to have the most experienced team no matter what.
Yeah.
Because they went 3 games, and they're bringing back everyone who went 3
Yep.
games. So they'll be playing in their 4th game of their college football playoffs for this basically this roster, this existing
Yep.
team. You should love 8 to 1. I hate it. I'm not betting it. I like this as a regular season team, though. I think you could kind of wagon this team through the regular season.
Yeah. Did they change the format where it's the top 4 teams now? No matter
So-
what. Top
Yes.
4 rated
It's going
teams?
to be. I don't think they
Should come
finalized it, though, did they?
oh, I thought they did.
I think because I don't think they decided if it's 16 or 12. I could double check on that.
Because
But
that's
they're going to probably.
That's a huge bet here. I think if it's the top 4 teams and it's not just the conference champions, you know what I mean, and then whatever the at-large is, I'm gonna hammer Penn State because there's a world where they
Correct. Yeah, it is. It's straight seeding based on CFP selection committee
lose. See,
rankings.
now I'm obsessed with this because they could lose to the number 1 team in the country, Ohio State,
still be a
be a
4
top
ranked.
4 team
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
Like say it goes SEC and 2 Big Ten, and it's just chalk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or if it's like one of the SEC teams are bad and Clemson gets in or something. I love the 8 to 1 because they could even get a bye with losing the Big Ten championship, in my opinion. And I think this team is a lock. I mean, mortal lock. There's no way they're worse than a second round exit. I mean, that's floor for me.
And you saw too the way that they like to seed the Big Ten. I mean, when you look at the CFP rankings last year, didn't we have what? Big Ten was 3 of the top 4, right? Wasn't it Oregon, Ohio State?
Seeding, not like the actual bracket.
Yeah, I mean like the rankings, like
Yeah,
1,
yeah,
2, 3,
yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Like they were obsessed with the Big Ten all
Yeah,
year.
four of the-
Didn't
in the
matter
top-
if Penn
four in the
State
top 10.
Yeah, it didn't matter if Ohio State lost to Oregon. Ohio State's a top 3 team.
No, I agree.
Didn't matter if Penn State lost to Ohio State.
That's why I
they're
love
top 5.
with that format you just confirmed. Obsessed with 8 to 1. I think their literal floor at 8 to 1. Their literal floor is to make it to the final 8 teams, in my opinion. So like I just obsessed with this. I love this. I love the bet.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same boat. I think they're gonna 100% make it into a playoffs. I just can't get behind them weighing a natty for
That's fair.
the same Drew Lar reason.
gotta
as
prove it,
before,
you know?
Well, this
but-
is definitely the most pro Penn State conversation we've had.
I know. I love
in
it.
the
I've always had to
literally
battle
ever.
in the
3v1.
2-year history of the pod.
I've had to battle my way through these.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's what they did in the playoffs. I mean, Boise State, that game didn't impress me. Honestly, neither of their games. None of their wins, if we want to talk about their wins, SMU, Boise State. Insanely impressive home
the
game
job.
against.
Who cares?
But they did it. And that's the biggest difference, is you can all of this talk and be like, oh, this 9 seed SMU is not that hard because that's home. You still have to win the game.
Yeah.
You still have to go beat the best running back in college football. Sure, you should do it, but a lot of times teams that should do things don't do them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they did it.
And they went to the Big Ten championship and put up a great
Totally.
fight. So they
Yeah,
best year of their
totally.
lives.
So I'm with you guys. This is an interesting one because there's not a lot of positive Penn State things. that
wow,
typically
how
come out of my mouth.
terrible would it be if 3 straight years of Big Ten champions? It's gonna we're gonna have to start having discussions.
Oh, that's not.
Back to back to back years.
Yeah.
Might have to be real.
Oh, there's no
Yeah,
no
it's
world
not-
a Big
it's
Ten
not
team wins
happening.
this year.
I mean, there's a really good.
No.
If you're betting odds, I'm betting.
No. Tyler a world.
Saying
Hook 'em
actually,
horns.
the odds though are probably
Hook
Big
'em
Ten to be the
horns.
favorite. I'm assuming by
If you
good
had to pick
margin.
conference,
You know, it's like best conference, most likely conference.
Georgia's plus 600, Texas, but no, it'd probably be SEC above it.
Really? Because we have
Is
Oregon
Georgia?
and
Yeah, but Oregon's way below. I can pull up the odds real quick.
I would love to know those odds because I mean, like Big Ten just taking over, and just I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I love nothing like
National championship. All right, here you go. Texas is first plus 550. Ohio State next plus 600. Georgia next plus 650.
and then Penn State, Oregon.
Then Penn State.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
we're
Oregon.
definitely it's a Big Ten.
Well, then it's Bama.
takeover.
I mean, the odds will probably be like Texas slightly or SEC slightly favored because you have Georgia at plus 650, Texas plus 550. Then it jumps 800, 900, and then Bama's right there at 1,000. It's probably pretty close.
No, I absolutely adore it. Takeover, Big Ten
SEC
takeover.
yeah, there you have it. Let us know what you think of Penn State. I mean, this has got us.
It has to be their year, right?
Yeah, is it their year? Does James
the best on
Franklin have it in
paper
him?
year.
Who knows? Let us know what you think in the comments. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. Let us know in the comments what team you want us to talk about. Check the channel. We might have already covered them. We've covered quite a few teams by now.
Oh, yeah.
But if we haven't, let us know who we should talk about. We're going to be doing this all off season. And then, I mean, guys, we're like a month out from
we're ready to
stocking
ride.
fantasy football and like way too
We're
early.
ready to ride.
We're there.
The horse is in the fucking cage,
No,
ready to go.
middle of June. It's
I'm
basically
excited.
basic on the 4th of July.
It's August.
When Mike's wearing his Speedo, his
What?
American Speedo, waving his Korean flag
What?
with the fireworks. That is
What?
when you can start mock drafting fantasy. That's when you can start placing actual wagers.
Mike was in the parade.
Speedo and socks.
Well, it's a big month for Mike.
Big protest
He's got to
parades.
use the Speedo that he got bought for this month, next month for
Yes.
some reason.
Rainbow colored speedboat.
Let us know what you think in the
are-
comments. Share with a friend. We'll see you on the next one.
Shout out Sandusky.
No, it doesn't. What?
Oh, good shout out.